Well, I'm sitting in my chair late at night, watching crime unfold under the pale moonlight. From the darkest corner, stories unfold. True crime jewels, she's brash and she is bold. On the YouTube screen, we're digging deep into the mysteries that never sleep. From missing kids in Tennessee to angry husbands named Barry. True crime's calling and we're taking the time. So grab a seat, don't miss a beat. This True Crime Jewels got what you need. From missing people to twisted minds, we're unraveling secrets old Barry tried to hide. Every clue, every twist and turn. In the world of crime, there's always more to learn. On the YouTube screen, we're digging deep into the mysteries that never sleep. From Christopher's anger to Stephen Fisher's lies, the truth is calling and justice won't be denied. So grab a seat, don't miss a beat. True Crime Jewels on the YouTube streets. Lights are low, suspense is high. We're chasing truth, we spot every lie. Step into the darkness, hold on tight. Two flashlights out there in the dead of night. On the YouTube screen, we're digging deep. Barry Morphew's case is high. A boy in Tennessee won't be left behind. From the coldest cases to the ones that shine, true crime's calling and we're taking the time. So grab a seat, don't miss a beat. This True Crime Jewels got what you need. We're always watching Barry and waiting for the truth. In the world of crime, we discuss the truth. So hit that play and join the ride on this true crime journey. Join Jewels of Thought and our gemstone family.
All right, everybody. I hope you are doing very, very, very well. And let me say this. We have, again, another night of intense storms. So please be safe and keep your weather radar on, or at least have Ryan Hall, y'all, or Reed Timmer. He is up, I think, in Tennessee. At least keep that playing in the background on another file or something, tab, just in case you have to go to your safe room. All right. Okay. So, it's been some interesting developments in the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers. And to tell you the truth, I get a little confused when Christopher Proudfoot et al. Speak, because I can't figure out what the hell they want. You know what I mean? Like in the beginning, a year ago, when Sebastian first went missing, weren't we all speaking about Sebastian? Like that was all the videos, right? Sebastian Rogers missing 17 days. Sebastian Rogers not found 37 days. You remember that? Everybody was talking about Sebastian. And this fellow, Christopher Proudfoot, he came out loudly proclaiming, don't talk about Sebastian. If you're making money, if your channel is monetized, you do not have permission to use Sebastian's name or to put his face on the thumbnail, etc., etc. I even got ugly emails from someone who speaks in a very similar fashion to Christopher, demanding that I not make another video about Sebastian. All right. So I said, okay, if we can't use Sebastian's name, if it's disturbing to the family, then I don't want to upset the family. So I'll talk about the people that are involved in the case, right? Or I guess at the time it wasn't a case. It is now. but the people that were close to Sebastian, or the people that were there the night Sebastian went missing, which would have been to do a video about Christopher Proudfoot or Katie or Seth. And to be honest, I really hadn't spoken much on Katie. One of the reasons I think it is by design, by Christopher Proudfoot's design, I think that he's made it very clear that he is Katie's official spokesperson, and she is not really allowed to speak very much, right? And if you're trying as either a YouTube creator or a professional of some sort, you're trying to address actual facts or events, things that we've all witnessed and seen. And in the beginning, a year ago, that was fairly easy to do because Christopher Proudfoot was making the rounds on all of the YouTube channels, small channels, not large, well-established, but small channels, and basically not behaving badly. It was sort of like Christopher Proudfoot gone wild. Do y'all remember those late night selling videos, Girls Gone Wild? Y'all remember that? Well, for Christopher last year, it was Christopher Proudfoot gone wild. Like, he just started doing all of these YouTube channels and just screaming and yelling and cussing up one side and down the other, and telling people not to talk about Sebastian. And I mean, it just got weird. If you remember what I'm describing, put a 1. If you think that I am in a delusional state and this thing never happened, put a 2. Because I'm pretty damn sure that I'm remembering this accurately. I have the emails where I was chastised and told under no circumstances could I use Sebastian's name. So that's what got us to this point, correct? That is what got us to this point where, yeah, there's been a lot of videos across YouTube talking about the adults that are a part of Sebastian's life, including Katie's mom and grandma, all of it. Okay, that's where we are now. Well, Christopher Proudfoot's back. Okay. Now, I don't pretend to know why these things are happening and why things are so erratic with Proudfoot, but I do think that SF Investigates, I think he was able to control Christopher. I think he was able to, and this is speculation on my part. I have no reason at all to know this other than just common sense. It seems like to me that when Drover, quit. It seems like to me when SF Investigates was working with Christopher Proudfoot and family, that he was able to control them. And so all of these kind of out of control interviews stopped, right? And yeah, SF went on a few interviews. They did not get wild. The man can barely speak publicly. He gets all tongue-tied and acts like he can't think about what he wants to say. But it did definitely calm things down quite a bit, correct? And so now we've had this unusual set of circumstances unfold. We have, SF exiting stage left. Said he's taking a little bit of a break, Marina girl. Yeah, I heard that in the Cluminati discussion. Yeah. So SF leaves because he's got wildfires in California to put out. Don't you know that? Oh, yeah. He literally said that he had to go help put wildfires out. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. But anyway, he's gone. He gone. And at the same time, we got a warrant criminal / subpoena delivered to the Proudfoot home right before court was to start. And then after court, apparently, I'm retelling what I've heard online, that Terry Lynn was in an altercation with Mama Boom Boom. And as Mama Boom Boom and Lynn were screaming and yelling at one another, Mr. Proudfoot had to go over and calm things down. He had to calm the little ladies down. What's going on over here? Mama Boom Boom, what you doing to Lynn? All right, well, I mean, that's the story he told, okay? I honestly am struggling to understand a reality where Christopher Proudfoot would be the calmest man in the room, but that's the story he tells nonetheless. And so that's the story of the altercation outside of the courthouse, of which Betty spoke about and seemed to really enjoy. Okay. Now we have Mr. Proudfoot once again on the streets of YouTube. He's making his rounds. He is winning friends and influencing people. He was so excited to get the opportunity to have a conversation with Dolly. Like, it was a little strange. He was so excited. He wanted Dolly to come up on panel. Like, they were getting all besties. And I wondered to myself, Dolly's no fool, right? He's a smart guy. And I was wondering to myself, does Dolly know he's being manipulated? Like, is he aware that the manipulation is happening? So that is going to be something interesting to keep an eye on. You guys pay attention to Dolly Vision and see if Chris becomes his new bestie. Dolly, here's a little bit of advice. You probably don't want that drama in your life. Just saying. Okay. All right. Now then, she is allegedly sick from all the bug bites and dirty water. Who is, Lisa? Oh yeah, Tina. But it's new with Dolly. Like, they haven't yet consummated the bromance. All right. It's a budding bromance. Christopher has gone on his channel a few times, given him some money, $50, $25. And then when Christopher was on Clues last night, Dolly came in and was asking some questions, and Chris gets real excited. He's like, oh, is that the real Dolly? Yeah, buddy, come on up on panel. Come on up with us on here, buddy. Okay, which he didn't. Okay, so that's a good thing. All right. Dolly is filling him out. For months, he wouldn't give Dolly the time of day. Well, Scotty, remember, a pivotal factor is no longer active, and that would be one SF investigates. So now Christopher is back at the helm. He is piloting the ship. He's the captain of the ship. And he is answering questions. He's making the rounds to his faithful supporters. He's making the rounds to the channels that have been very open to allow him to tell whatever stories that he wants to tell. And I think it's very clear that there is an opening for a bromance. Okay, so Chris is cultivating Dolly. He's sucking him in a little bit at a time, a little bit of cash, acting like they could be buddies, and then we'll see what happens. All right, so I don't know where it's going to go, but it'd be interesting to kind of pay attention to. Now then, that kind of sets the stage for this 4-hour live. Well, to be fair, I don't think that Christopher Proudfoot was there for 4 hours, maybe a couple hours. But I get confused when I listen to this guy. And it doesn't matter which channel, if he's on Queen Bee, if he's on Clue, whatever. I get confused listening to him because he sends such complete double, he sends double messaging, right? Like, you are not allowed to talk about Sebastian. And then we go, okay, well, we won't talk about Sebastian to honor you, or actually to honor Katie and Seth. But then we get something else. All right. So let's see what transpired last night that caused me to get confused. I'm trying to follow the rules, Chris. I'm a rule follower. I've made my life following the rules. It's just what I do, Chris. I find out what the rules are, and then I follow them. And it has seemed to have worked up until now. But I'm having a little bit of trouble, Chris, following your rules.
Cameron's in Crime, thank you for Super Chat. Chris, what is the top creator on YouTube you wish you could just shut up? And support from the heart and soul for you and Katie. That's a trick question.
God.
It's not really a trick question. It's an easy answer. It's real simple. I think I do wish people would stop with drama and focus on Sebastian and make it about Sebastian and not.
Okay, you want to stop with the drama and make it about Sebastian? But that's not what you said a year ago. A year ago, we were heavily chastised and told you absolutely cannot talk about Sebastian. You can't say his name. You can't put his photograph on your thumbnail. You are not to talk about Sebastian at all if there will be any remuneration whatsoever. You said that. So when did the rules change, Chris?
About this person, that person, who did this, who did that, et cetera,
Yeah.
et cetera.
Yeah.
Focus back on Sebastian. Reel it all the way back to Sebastian.
Oh, Sebastian.
Not about the parents, not about anything else. Just Sebastian.
Yeah. Well, I'm so confused. Like, what happened to change that rule, Chris? At what point did you decide, okay, maybe it's okay if they do talk about Sebastian and just don't talk about us? And here's another question. If you go around on a bunch of panels, a bunch of channels and whatnot, and you're doing public discussions, don't you think that is a point of interest for people that have been following the disappearance of Sebastian? It's interesting what you have to say, and most people, I think, would really like very much to hear what Katie has to say, but we recognize that is not going to happen. So we're kind of in a weird catch-22. It seems like you're talking out of both sides of your mouth, and maybe you haven't really thought this all the way through. So I'm going to also interject 2 points here that remain front and center for me. And every time Christopher Proudfoot talks, I listen to every word, hoping for some clarification. And that clarification is this. Why would you go on Fox and Friends, an international morning show, and give photographs and pictures of a little small kid? Videos too. You give a video of Sebastian when he's just a early elementary kid. You didn't provide Fox and Friends a national morning platform. You did the number one morning show in America was so bizarre. The number one morning show in America, and your photographs and videos didn't look anything like the kid that Sebastian is today. Why? And then it was made all the more confusing to me because when you befriended J is for Justice, then she began putting out videos and photographs of Sebastian when he's older. So you guys had the pictures. We even saw the video on the Texas Roadhouse video. I pulled a screenshot from that video where you could clearly see Sebastian's face, the width of his shoulders. Why wouldn't you do that? What exactly was the point going on Fox and Friends? Why did y'all go? To spread information about Sebastian? To share his photograph so that there would be eyes all over America looking for this teenager? Because you didn't show up with photographs of a teenager. You showed up with photographs of a little boy, and that intrigues me. The other thing that I find intriguing is you say in this clip that you honestly, there's, you don't want to tell a subscriber of a creator to shut up or anything like that. You said you wanted people to stop the drama. That there's creators who talk mean and bad about other creators, right? I mean, you talk about that a couple of times in this interview, discussion with your friends. I'm a little confused about your level of self-awareness, Christopher Proudfoot. You do realize which channels you're going on, right? Is it a secret that you're actually going on the drama channels? You yourself, in this discussion with Cletus and Cleminati, you yourself call Brittany Crater Face or Crater Head, some ugly name, but that's not even the nickname for what your little drama friends call her. It's actually a different girl that's been bullied, Bullhorn Betty. That's her nickname for her. So again, I'm confused, Chris. Do you want the bullying and the drama and the bullshit to stop? Or you just don't want anybody to answer to it? You want your friends to do their bullying and their little videos, and they're building an entire channel around bullying one creator. It's confusing to me because the very people that you have befriended are exactly the ones that are attacking other creators. So I don't know, Chris. I'm not altogether sure that you're demonstrating a lot of personal insight. It seems like you're not sure what you want, or you're simply being manipulative.
What's up, guys? It's Lex from Los Angeles Recording School. Come check out some of the studios and gear that our students get to work with here on campus.
I think I'll let Betty's waiting to see that cookbook come out real soon. So I guess it was fight night outside the courthouse today.
I heard. Is it fine?
Go ahead and try it again.
Try what?
Yeah, it's not echoing anymore.
Okay.
Okay.
Echo, echo.
Have you talked about fight night or no?
Well, I stepped into Queens for a little bit.
Mm.
you know, and she was like, well, there's a bunch of rumors that apparently you and your mom were at it. And no, nope. I'm sure there was quite a bit of people standing outside that can witness and tell people what they saw. But
Yeah.
no, you know, all the rumors coming from Betty.
Shocker. Well, yeah, because they were, you know, made to kind of like stand inside and just wait because they couldn't, I guess, exit without being within a certain footage
because of the
people, so-
restraining order.
Ah,
But I, you know, just curious. Myself, my family, we would not stand out on the courthouse lawn and scream and yell at anyone. Right? Am I right about that? If I ended up out on the lawn of any place in town and I just began just screeching and screaming at anyone, my son or another YouTube creator, my husband would tell me to go get in the car. He would ask me if I had lost my damn mind. That's not really the way you act in public from where I'm from. So that's kind of weird to me that the Proudfoot, the Bowersox, they're there in court because they're so afraid of Betty. They're terrified that Betty's going to hurt them, right? That's why they're there. That's why they had to get the restraining order. Fear. So you're there for a legal proceeding in which you're fearing for your safety or for the safety of Katie. And then you leave so that you can go outside and scream and yell at a YouTube creator? Someone who's looked for Sebastian, actively been out in the woods looking for him? That is so weird to me. Such a strange idea to me. So, yes, I do believe this whole thing that, you know, Betty and them couldn't go out as long as the Proudfoot were still there because of the restraining order. And very likely she was waiting for them to leave so then she could go out and leave. And in the meantime, instead of just getting in their cars and going home, they chose to have a little titty baby argument right there in the center of town for all the world to see. Who lives like that?
who cares? Let them start and say what they want.
Yeah.
Miserable people with miserable lives.
Well, the chat.
The truth is, I mean, I've got a really good life, so I'm not miserable. But I am really sad when I think about Sebastian going missing. I'm really, really sad when I think about Sebastian losing his cat, losing the snakes, all the things that he had that he enjoyed. And it had to be, all those things that he loved had to be used as tools of manipulation and punishment. That makes me really sad for Sebastian.
Chat is saying, hello,
Hey, Kitty,
Chris
no.
and Katie. Much prayers and blessings to y'all. Hello to Katie and Chris. So,
Hello, everyone.
I haven't gone over Betty's live yet, but I heard she had a lot to say.
Oh, of course she did. You know, apparently she has an issue with the way some folks dress for court.
Okay, I'm just going to go buy this. It's not.
This April at Renewal
It's
by
not a big
Anderson,
deal.
replace your windows, your patio doors, or your entry door.
Wait. Oh. I just
I didn't even see her. I don't care to give that fucking girl 2 minutes of my fucking time, unfortunately.
That's so strange because you just said that you didn't want any drama, that you wanted things to calm down, and you just wanted people to talk about Sebastian. Now you're cussing this woman, the woman that you're deathly afraid of.
Well, unfortunately, she was in my line of sight when she walked in. So, of course, she had to direct everyone as to where to sit in the benches. Whatever.
Whatever.
Whatever makes her happy.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about the outcome of today?
Not surprised, honestly.
Oh my God.
Unfortunately, well, fortunately for some, I'm perfectly okay to stand up and accept and do what I need to do as a grown-ass adult. I don't have to run and hide and keep filing a bunch of chicken shit things that she likes to file. Last time I checked, I'm not involved in 3 major court cases.
Oh my God.
Well, see, that's a little bit interesting that you would even say that. Cletus asked a really good question. How are you feeling about the outcome, right? Just, well, I was disappointed. Or I'm glad it's going up to the higher court. Or I wish that it was staying in Sumner County where my family has influence. He's asking for a real, reaction. And your reaction, Mr. Proudfoot, was to compare yourself to Betty. Why? What do you mean? Why does it matter that Betty has restraining orders that you brought and that, she's on bail and she's got a lot of legal entanglements? That's how you make yourself feel better? You compare yourself to Betty and you say, well, at least I'm not out on $20,000 bond. Seems like to me that you wouldn't even be defining yourself by Betty. But that's exactly what you just did. You used Bullhorn Betty and basically turned her into a ruler, a measuring tape for how well you're doing. That seems really weird to me, Chris.
I haven't been compelled, and I'm definitely not filing order protections for attorneys.
On an attorney, yeah.
Yeah.
She's crazy, dude.
Certifiable.
But you're the one that's defining your own identity and what level of well-being by what Betty's life is. Why would you do that? Why don't you just man up and define your life according on your terms, what you do, what your successes are? Why do you need to compare yourself against Bullhorn Betty? Some weird stuff.
I don't get it. I really don't. I mean, I get feeling entitled, you know what I mean, in some situations, but this one, I don't understand why it's virtually impossible to just move on. You know what I mean? It's almost like she's like that rebellious teenager that if you tell them no, she's just going to do it 20 times worse.
Well, I mean, you have to understand why she can't move on. If she moves on, what is she going to talk about?
I mean,
what else is out there for her to just...
Okay, so Christopher Proudfoot asks a good question, correct? If Betty moves on, what will she talk about? Well, Chris, in the world of true crime, Lori Vallow's trial starts on Monday, and she is pro se. That is going to be huge. And every minute of that trial is going to be broadcast. So that's something that she could do. Or Karen Reed is about to get started again on her retrial. And boy, that is a can of worms. Very exciting. Lots of questions and room for speculations. That's a good case to follow. What about the Idaho 4? In fact, Mr. Proudfoot, Betty actually drove out to Idaho and was already there covering the Idaho 4, taking video, photographs at the time that Sebastian went missing, and she got wrapped up in trying to find him. So she already has an interest in Idaho 4. She has prescient knowledge of the early stages of Idaho 4. And she would probably, I would guess, I'm not friends with her, I don't even know her, but I would guess that she would be very interested in talking and covering the Idaho 4, for example. Or what else? Dr. Turk. That has turned out to be one hell of an interesting case. So you see, Chris, you have this way of looking at the world like you're the sun and everything else revolves around you. So right now, because there's a missing kid, you're feeling like you're on center stage. You're on center stage. Sebastian, Seth, all of you guys are the center of the universe. And everybody else is just watching every move you make. And that's all they care about is what you guys do. That's a fallacy. It's not real. It has there is zero reality to that. What you do have is you have a lot of people that are in the true crime community who get very emotionally involved when there has been a child that has been hurt. In fact, it kind of pisses them off because most adults, well, they love their kids and they will throw down and fight to the death to defend their children. And that means that creates a high level of empathy for anybody's kid. So you see, when Sebastian went missing, there was a lot of empathy among parents that had kids that were on the spectrum. And there was Sebastian's photograph, and he's on the spectrum. So there was interest, there was automatic interest, high level of empathy. People wanted to help because they could see themselves in your story. Right until you went on channels and started talking, and then parents were horrified. Parents said, "Oh my God, what's wrong with this man? You hit your kid with autism with a belt? That's the best you can do? Were you educated about autism? Do you even know what it is? Like, why would you hit a kid with autism when really you're a mirror for them? They're going to do whatever it is you do. So if you act like an angry, aggressive ass, so too will the kid that's on the spectrum. If you act like you are someone who is calm and cares and speaks in a directive and firm voice with love, then that child will be firm and grounded and calm. To take out a belt and hit them, you're just inviting aggression. And I can't even talk about the negative aspects of going into his room, a kid on the spectrum, and putting all of his things into a trash bag and taking it outside and dumping it in the trash can. The inside of him would have exploded because those things in his room, regardless of whether Christopher Proudfoot finds them important or not, for that kid on the spectrum, those things are grounding for him. They create a sense of safety. They help him stay calm. But hey, this man, he's telling us all about how to be great parents, how to be a great spouse. I mean, I'm not really sure where he's getting his information. I'm not sure that there's actually a lot of success in these ideas, but I find them to be disturbing and potentially harmful to a kid on the spectrum in general. So when the information began to emerge that maybe things were not good for Sebastian at home, then it wasn't just the parents of those kids that had autism, but all parents who love their kids began to get very disturbed. You see, Chris, it was a natural progression from you guys immediately coming on, starting to talk to people, and everyone had a lot of empathy and they cared a great deal about what was happening, and they wanted to do whatever they could possibly do to help. And as the weeks unfolded and we watched you call childish junior high school names at web sleuths, among others, the parents began to get more and more uncomfortable, saying, this is not normal. This strange aggression and anger and making fun of this kid on the spectrum, this isn't like what happens at my house. People didn't just decide to pick on you, Chris. You earned it. You demonstrated it. You went on these I don't even know how many online meltdowns you've had. I can't count them all. I don't know. I'd need a notebook and a piece of paper, a pen, so that I could just get it organized in my head. Exactly how many eruptions are we dealing with? So it's such a curious thing when you're asked a question that's a reasonable question. What was your reaction to the outcome today in court? Because everybody is wanting to know that. Cletus asked a great question. But your answer's sort of all over the place. Well, at least I'm not out on a $20,000 bail. At least I don't have 3 restraining orders. At least I don't take a restraining order out against an attorney. What? What does that have to do with Christopher Proudfoot? Anything going on with Bullhorn Betty doesn't define you in any way. And then you come out with, quit talking about the parents, take it back to Sebastian. Let's talk about Sebastian. We were talking about Sebastian, and you showed your ass and told everybody that was talking about the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers, you told us to shut up. We were not allowed to say his name or use his picture if our channels were monetized. So everybody changed their tactic. All right, I'll respect you. I won't use Sebastian's name. I'll talk about the things you're doing as a parent online. We'll talk about Seth, what he's doing. We'll talk about Katie, what she's doing. Now, a year later, the rules have changed again, right? Why? And then you say, oh, there's not one creator that I would like for them to be quiet. I would just like creators to get away from the drama. Just stop. You have creators attacking each other, one creator talking mean about another creator. Just stop all that and let's get back to talking about Sebastian. And meanwhile, back at the ranch, Chris, you're calling women crater face. Which channels exactly are you going on? Non-drama? Really? you may want to pay a little bit of attention to what your friends are doing before you start saying, oh, everybody needs to play nice, and quit talking mean about each other. I mean, double speak, that is an understatement.
Discuss. I mean, she's got a great, I guess she's starting up a cooking show with videos on sink chicken and smashed burnt burritos. And I mean,
Oh, tell me again about how you don't want any drama, Chris. You're literally out of your mouth, you say, well, if Betty stops talking about Sebastian, what will she do? What kind of content will she have? I just gave you a list of really, really, really great trials that are coming next week. And Betty's doing a cooking show. But you're making fun of that, Chris. You're making fun of it. Clue, Cletus, all of you guys are making fun of it. But didn't you just say you don't want her talking about Sebastian? She's going to need to make some kind of content if she's going to keep her channels going, right? You see, Chris, you don't have any idea what the hell you're saying. You're just going on these channels trying to manipulate people. You're trying to prove to people, look what a good guy I am. And for people that will actually pay attention, you're just babbling, dude. You don't mean a word you say. Not a word.
I don't know. I don't make my living on a YouTube channel. Sorry.
Oh gosh, he's comparing himself. He's defining himself again by Bullhorn Betty. Chris, dude, did you know there's therapists for this kind of thing? You go to a well-educated, qualified therapist, and you go in there and you say, I'd like to work on my identity so I know who I am, and I'm proud of what I do, and I know my worth on this planet. Not, I want to be just like Betty. I want to be able to measure myself against Bullhorn Betty. Quit doing that. It's unhealthy, Chris. You don't need to compare yourself to Cletus or Bowersox, Bowersox. You don't have to compare yourself to anybody, dude. Stand on your own 2 feet. Stake your claim in life. I am Christopher Proudfoot. You don't need to define your worth according to how Betty is living her life. So unhealthy. It's just going to lead you to a place where you're just filled with anger and deep-seated frustration.
For anybody that does, I don't. I have a job, and so does Katie, and I don't tell people I make $200,000 in one court case and then turn around and tell everybody else I make $20,000 to $40,000.
Well, that makes you a good guy. Can we all give Chris a round of applause, please? Thank you, Chris. That makes you a great guy. That at least I don't go and tell people I make $200,000 on a court case on my YouTube channel and then turn around and tell them I make $20,000. That makes me better than Betty. Chris, you're not in competition with Betty. Do you know that? In fact, if you hadn't brought the lawsuit against Betty, you wouldn't even be connected to this woman. So why do you seem to feel like somehow you and Betty are in a foot race? Whoever gets to the end of the line fastest is the winner. Is that how you're going to define yourself? You're going to walk around and say, I am Chris Proudfoot. I beat Bullhorn Betty. I think you should aim higher than that, dude. Sincerely.
$1,000 in another court case. It's probably why she doesn't want to do Discovery with Queen, from what I understand.
Yeah. Actually, number one Gypsy, thank you for the super chat first and foremost, but she has a question. She wants to know if I can ask you about America's Most Wanted, possible thought of abduction.
Good question.
Ask the question.
Yeah,
That's
good
her question.
question.
She wants your
Possible thought
thoughts
of an abduction.
on the America's Most Wanted
Yeah.
and possible thoughts.
Remember, Chris, that this has been being talked about for a year. Remember that? Possible abduction? No, you don't. That's weird because I thought we all considered abduction.
Of abduction.
So, for the America's Most Wanted, it's a new series that's coming out.
God.
Called America's Most Wanted Missing Persons. Apparently, this is something that they've started up. There was a few cases that were selected, and we are very fortunate to be Sebastian's case is one of those cases that were selected. Those were not handed down by local law enforcement. Those were handed out from what I believe to be known as the FBI.
What does that mean? What does that mean? That was handed down by what I believe and has come to be known as the FBI. What does that mean? What does that mean? Why don't you just say that wasn't picked by the FBI? It's so weird.
It was filmed last week. It was a 2-day deal. So they filmed me and Katie on Monday, and then they filmed Seth on Tuesday. From what I understand, it was a very successful all the way around, all three parents. So there's no drama. It is factual based around all three parents. Trying to get Sebastian's face
drama.
His case out there so that we
Dude, you're creating the drama. You're creating the drama. And I suspect you're directing your little friends to create drama. That's my guess.
It's more nationwide, not just a local or hit or miss. So that's a great thing. I do think it's supposed to air sometime the end of April. I don't have an exact date. And no, we do not know what it's going to look like. We will find out when everybody else finds out. Possible abduction. Once again, that's a speculation thing. I don't have any proof or anything of that. I mean, I'm only going off of what law enforcement does, finds, and go from there. I mean, it's not, speculations aren't going to get us anywhere but more drama.
Well, and I think the question was probably based on people have looked into what gets America's Most Wanted involved, but I think you cleared that up with saying it's like a new sort of spinoff about missing people. So that's...
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like it's going to be a great show. I do hope that it will not only succeed in this part, but I hope it keeps going just like America's Most Wanted. I think
get really spotlight attention on a big platform in a way, like you said. Hope there's no drama in it, and that'll be great.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I know, there was when they interviewed, it was just Katie, myself, and Seth. That was it. I think they did third. It's Katie, myself, and Seth, and that's it.
Pete.
Okay, I'm not gonna do. I don't want to talk about that.
It's for law enforcement to handle.
I don't know. This is crazy. Like every week, dude, it reaches another level of like, just when you think like it's been to the top, every week it's like something else happens, and it's like, how are we even here? You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I just don't get it. You know what I mean?
Does anybody?
It's always something. Always something.
But see, that's so weird, Chris, because my life is not like that. Like, I'm not just sitting around every day. It's always something. It's always something. That's not real. Maybe there's things that you're doing to create that environment. But to be fair, what happened? Like, you went to court and they said this has to go to a higher court. So they're taking it out from underneath, Sumner County influence. How's that bad? Like, you guys are acting like you lost the case, which you did not. But who else, like all of you guys in the chat, are y'all picking up on how somber this is? I mean, we're talking about, realistically, Clue and Cletus, they're funny people, right? Like, they have a lot of fun when they're live. They are kind of wild and crazy people, right? This is if you think that this live is really low key, low energy, kind of boring, put a 1. If you think it seems perfectly normal and they're acting like nothing happened, put a 2. Right? They're presenting the way that they're acting is nothing like their normal self. They're all really, really down. Low energy. Yes, Lisa. Why? Exactly what I was thinking. Kind of like they know something is coming. I'm not. I get what you're saying, Marlena, but I'm not going to try to mind read. I'm just going to observe the reality. And the reality is they are acting like there's some bad news. Like, why did Clue say, oh, it's always something. Every time I think this case can't get any worse, what happened? Was there something? I didn't think there was anything that happened. Despair? But possibly, yeah. CP isn't protecting Katie. He is protecting himself. I have no idea, Jackie, but I know they are super subdued. Yeah. Thank you, Lisa. At least I'm not. And yet there's a missing kid, right? You're defining yourself by comparing yourself to Bullhorn Betty, but isn't this about Sebastian? Why are you so wrapped up in Bullhorn Betty? What is it about Bullhorn Betty, or for that matter, Brittany? Why are you guys so fixated on these two? It's about Sebastian, right? So you go to court for this egregious restraining order, and the judge did exactly what the law is. The judge just followed boring Tennessee law. Nobody lost anything. There was no bad news. There wasn't a thing. And you guys are behaving like you're at a wake. Why? This is very strange.
Oh, Petty was referencing that text message that she sent to Yada.
So that I really, that's okay. Yes, I guess in a way it's considered third party contact. However, I do feel that Miss Yada will probably do what she needs to do.
Gloom, despair, and agony are me. Deep, dark depression, excessive misery. If it weren't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. Doom, despair, and agony are me. Thank you, that little trip down memory lane, Junie.
To take action upon that. But that's something that would be up to Miss Yada.
T-Dub is asking, are there any leads on Sebastian's case? Anything, any updates that you guys are aware of?
Oh, my God.
Everything that law enforcement said as it stands right now, they're going to hold things close to the chest. They are working on the case, but I mean, as it stands, I mean, I think Chief Craddock said it best that leads have come in, but they've kind of dwindled down. I think when this America's Most Wanted gets posted and gets aired, I think that'll be a great opportunity to see if more leads and tips come in. And maybe that'll hopefully get us an answer and start leading us in the right direction.
Listen up, y'all.
There's a question from PJ. How come they don't correct the CPS 5 report allegation, since it's being rumored it was only 5 because follow-ups? Why not clear that up?
I wish I had an answer for that. What I do know, there are people who need content. There are people who need to speak and give misinformation.
Listen, that's bullshitter. This is big ass talk. It doesn't mean nothing. Oh, there's people that need content, so they're gonna lie. They're gonna lie on Chrissy Wissy. Stop, Chris. What do you mean there's people that need content? There's people. Stop. That is so tired. That's the crap you were spouting a year ago. It's tiresome. It is a fact that when Google envisioned YouTube, they said, hey, let's make content creators employees of Google. Let's pay them for their work. That's what they said, and they did not equivocate. Oh, I know. I've heard you, Chris. I got a real job. I climb up in my big crane and I make money. Okay, well, I have a real job too. But I like my YouTube channel. I love having friends that are interested in the same types of things I'm interested in. So if YouTube says that I can monetize when I go live and have these discussions with my friends, it's really none of your concern if I monetize or not. You know what I mean? Like, do you have a committee, Chris, that when you go to work, the committee sits around to decide if you deserve money for that day that you did at work? Because there are some people that devote 40, 50, 60 hours a week to their YouTube channel, like Jays for Justice, for example. They are using YouTube like a full-time job. They deserve to get remuneration if their subscribers want to do that. I find it incredibly arrogant that you still believe, after a year of this nonsense, you continue to believe that you are better than a bunch of YouTube creators and that you are so special. You get to decide if someone makes money or not covering a case. What about law and crime? Law and crime gets paid. What about court TV? They get paid. How about going on Amazon and buying books that other people have written? They get paid, all by telling true crime stories, Chris. Just because you may not be interested in true crime stories, it doesn't mean there's not other people that aren't interested in it. I'm for sure I have zero interest in running around and playing in the dirt. You seem to love it. People are different. They have different interests. They have a different skill set. They have different talents that they can bring to the conversation here on YouTube. And if it's worthwhile information, sometimes the subscribers want to give you a little bit of money. And it's not up to you to determine whether it's okay or not. So your bullshit about how the only reason people are commenting on this is because they need content. I can promise you one thing, Chris. There's a lot more interesting content out there than you. And starting on Monday, that'll be apparent. They're just what I've been doing the Turk trial, and they haven't been in court. So I said, well, let's see what's going on with Chris Proudfoot. He's making the rounds again. Let's see if anything's changed. And it has. You are decidedly less energetic than you were a year ago.
And misdirection, and that is their choice. However, a person with a brain and anybody who's been able to see the CPS reports should be able to see that there's actually only 3 CPS reports. And they'll be able to distinguish that. Now, I'm not going to go into what these CPS reports say.
Now we got a new Chris Proudfoot statement that doesn't match his previous Proudfoot statements. Christopher Proudfoot has just officially announced on Cluminati's channel that there are 3 CPS reports in Tennessee. Didn't he say he didn't know? Didn't he tell Nancy Grace that he didn't think there were any? He didn't know about any. What? I don't know. I don't think there are. How many channels did he go on and flat out deny CPS involvement in Tennessee? They're still equivocating. They're saying not 5 investigations. There's only 3. Excuse me a minute while I throw up. There's only 3? There's only 3 CPS investigations involving Sebastian in the past year? Only 3. That's how we're going to now measure abuse of a kid with special needs. Only 3. I don't know who you people are. I don't know who you guys are. I don't know how you live your day-to-day lives, but that is bizarre. Here's my world. 1 investigation is too many. It's only 3. They're lying about the follow-ups. There were 2 more follow-ups. That makes 5. I felt literally nauseated. Literally nauseated. Now, why did Proudfoot come out and once again tell something that is unlike anything he said before? Why did he do that? Well, I don't know. Maybe because some of us started saying, okay, wait a minute. Why would Seth lie? I mean, he knows that the cops are watching all of these videos. He knows that he has not yet been cleared by law enforcement. And he knows that if he told such a terrible lie, that law enforcement would be all over that. There's no way in hell Seth Rogers is coming on YouTube channels and lying about Christopher and Katie having 5 CPS investigations. No way in hell. He is not a dumb guy. So Chris is equivocating. He's trying to smooth out the rough edges, make it seem less egregious than it actually is by literally saying, there's only 3 investigations. The other 2 were simple follow-ups. Anyone knows those don't count. Where are all these people that supposedly love children and hate abuse? Here's a fact. The last CPS report that was resulting in an active investigation was in January, just 2 weeks before Sebastian went missing. How are you about that? You feeling warm and fuzzy with that fact? How is it that a kid that has a fat CPS file, multiple reports, ongoing repeated investigations, bullshit comments from step parents, how is it that kid gets a new CPS investigation that starts in January, and then he disappears off the face of the earth weeks later? How in the hell is Eric Craddock sitting there and not responding to that?
I will make this statement out there. If they ever are eligible to come to light, there's going to be some people who are going to have quite a bit of backpedaling to do.
Is that right, Chris? Really? It's going to be quite a bit of backpedaling to do. What was it Letitia Stout said when oh gosh, not Sebastian. What was the little boy's name? What was his name? Gannon. When Gannon comes home, you're going to all owe me an apology. Who remembers that? When Gannon comes home, you'll all owe me an apology, and then you'll feel bad about what you did to me. Then you'll feel bad kicking me out of the house. Now we got Christopher Proudfoot repeating nearly the exact same sentiment. Here's where it stands, Christopher Proudfoot. 1 CPS active investigation is 1 too many. 2 is bullshit. 3 is an established pattern of assault against a kid.
Then unfortunately that's on them, not on us.
That's facts. Angel says, I'm so sorry that you are being targeted in this way. They should understand how traumatic this is for you all. And
well, that ought to prove to you real quick that it's not about Sebastian. That's just about these people who are, I really don't want to go down this road, but I'm going to make this statement. When these people feel this miserable, they have no other means but to drag people down with them.
Is that like how you were like bad mouthing Bullhorn Betty? Like, well, at least I don't have $20,000 bond. Was that what you were doing? Like, you're so miserable that you have to like point out all of the troubles that Bullhorn Betty has? Is that kind of what you mean? Is that like an example of that?
So that's why they do.
Yeah, you don't know shit. You don't know anything about why people get into true crime and discuss it. You don't know anything about their status as having been victims of violent crime or losing children to violent crime. You don't know anything. Again, Chris, you think you're the sun and you think everyone else is revolving around you. You hadn't stopped long enough to consider that all of these people that care about Sebastian and care about what he was going through, they may have lived a similar nightmare. So you might want to check your arrogance a little bit.
All of our energies from Samael too, since he's here.
Oh my God. So
Computer.
dumb. So dumb.
I'm writing for us all to see.
The glory, I'm not sure.
I mean, I can tell you guys, I've told you this once before, but Chris and Katie are dedicated to finding their son, right? They do things in the background. They don't need to come out here, get in the spotlight, get ass pats and attaboys and pats on the head. I can 100% assure you. And let me tell you, the stuff that they're doing, it's not free, right? The legitimate search things are being done on their dime, right? So they are not stopping the search for their son. Period. Will you hear about it on the internet? No, you won't.
Yeah, and unfortunately, no. I mean, she's very correct. We're not going to come out in the public and videotape and start posting on everything that we have done and are currently involved with or have planned. One, it just, if you publicize it, then too many people get involved and more people just tend to get in the way for certain things. And it's just not conducive to what needs to be done, unfortunately. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not an organizer. I'm not going to sit here and organize a 500 person search party, line us up in a line and start marching through fields.
Okay, so everybody understands that Chris is a good guy and that he's spending all of his money on searches for Sebastian, and that's the only thing that he and Katie live for is finding Sebastian. And they're not going to do the horrible, evil, low down, dirty, terrible thing of talking about it online. They're going to take the long suffering kind of, suffering in silence, alone in the cruel world, searching for the lost Sebastian. Everybody gets that, right? We gotta look up to them and think, oh, what a great guy. These are great people. This is a great situation, compared to Seth, who started a YouTube channel. Again, it's just comparison. We're better, you're not. Look where we're better, you're bad. Yeah, we're the good ones, you're the bad ones. You're bad, you're good. Why is everything mutually exclusive in your world, Christopher Proudfoot? Reality isn't generally mutually exclusive. There's a lot of really great things that happen online, finding missing people. Just because you've had a bad experience, just because you've had trouble controlling your temper, not everybody has experienced that. Look at Michael Vaughn's family. They've been embraced. They've been protected. There's a lot of Gabby Petito, Kylie Rodney. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Just because your experience has been a reflection of the energy that you've brought to this, don't hold us responsible for your bad behavior, buddy.
Try to get her down. Good luck. Because at the end, before you can get to her, you got to go through me.
Carla, you don't have to super chat to ask a question, hon. I'm looking at the chat, but thank you. Chris, this person, Carla Sparks, says, hey, Chris, you want the hard questions. Where were you on February 25th, Sunday, from awake to bedtime? Thank you.
Listen to this answer. It's crazy.
Just everyone is curious.
Everybody can be curious. I was in Memphis. Well, actually, I was in South Haven or Horn Lake, Mississippi on February 25th, which would have been a Sunday.
Nanny, nanny, boo boo. You didn't catch me on that one. What the hell's wrong with you? That was bizarre. Was it cat and mouse game? What? Ugh, yuck.
And Gold Dust, thank you for a super chat. Chris and Katie, we all wish things were different. Wish we could help change this craziness for your family. Thank you, ma'am.
Well, thank you. We wish it would change quickly.
I don't think
Once Sebastian comes home, it'll be, thank God it'll be over with. And then, unfortunately, I think a lot of these creators are going to lose content.
Oh, my God. Ugh. Okay, I'm going to let you guys make a few comments. How do you respond to that? Unfortunately, when Sebastian comes home, a lot of these creators are going to lose content. What? Yeah. Oh my God, that laugh. Sinister. Unbelievable. OMG. How are these folks going to feel if these two are arrested and charged? Way off topic, Jules, but one of my standard poodle puppies are coming to your side of Texas tomorrow. That's so exciting, Princess Jasmina. Oh my goodness. I love standards. They're so elegant. Oh my goodness, that's exciting. Yeah, prove it, right? Sorry, just jumped in. Hey, Lady for Justice, good to see you. Oh my God, Poppy, it's almost, you just can't take it. I know, Stillwaters, it's crazy. What is this? Why does the green team whine and say, why don't CP and KP come out and talk more? Now they talk and you all bash them. How does that make any sense? Am I bashing them? I'm not bashing them. What I'm saying is fact. Why is he laughing? This is not funny at all. I want to know how the hell he knows Sebastian's going to come home if he doesn't know where the hell Sebastian's at. Well, where's Summer? To me, that comment sounded exactly like Letitia Stout saying that when Gannon came home, we were all going to owe her a big apology, especially Al, for kicking her out of the house. Remember that? So chilling. CPS info makes KP's statement about thinking back weeks to where he could be or what could have been happening feels even more off. Yeah, because there were even some pointed questions like, were you fighting? Was there any trouble? And she was very clear. She said it would be understandable if we were fighting or not getting along. Of course, Tina. In fact, Tina, on Monday, Dr. Turk will be back, so I'll be covering that. And Lori Vallow's trial starts. And then a couple of months after that, then we've got the Idaho 4 starting. I'm not doing the Karen Reed case because I don't have the time. It would be impossible. I'm going to finish Dr. Turk's trial. I am doing the Lori Vallow, gavel to gavel. There's no time to do anything else. So, Chris, hang on. You got a few more days over the weekend, and then no one's going to be giving a damn about what you're doing. Lose content. Finding Sebastian isn't about creating content. It's about finding a lost kid. I know, DB, it's shocking. The things that are said are shocking. Oh, yay. There was supposed to be like 3 packages. Maybe they'll come. Excuse me. Listen to the next question about the tattoo. They think it is illegal for Betty to have a tattoo. What? How? Explain that, Marina girl. Why would a tattoo be illegal? CB acts like he's at summer camp. How's Chris going to feel when he is behind the bar? Oh gosh, I'm not saying that because that would require an incredible amount of speculation, and it actually might be slander. Does he not know he's talking to a creator who makes money? Well, thank you. I was hoping somebody would say that, Boots. Thank you for saying that. Yeah. So the whole time I'm listening to this, right? And it's all this bashing against YouTube creators, how they don't have real jobs. They're basically, if you're a YouTube creator, you're just a grifter, right? You're a bad person. If you make money online, you're lazy, yada, yada. Bill, will you turn my fan on, please? But there he sits with his friend. He's sitting there with his friend who has a very successful YouTube channel. They're not grifting. So he has no self-awareness. There's zero self-awareness. Brown-eyed girl, the comment about drama, right? How many times does he talk about drama? No drama. Those drama people. Excuse me, Chris. Who's making drama content? Take a good long look at the videos that your friends have made. Go to J's for Justice channel. What do you see in there? Not now. I mean, she's got some videos about other people now, but she spent about 4 or 5 months every night, night after night after night, hate videos, hit pieces on Brittany. That's your friend. That's your buddy. That's your little texting partner. And yet you then go up on Cletus and Cluminati's channel and you speak with great authority and talk about how, oh, your only wish is that people would get away from drama. Well, have you voiced that to Jay and Cluminati and Queen Bee? Have you asked them to cut down on the drama stuff? Or is that just for everyone else? That's for the other creators that are talking about the disappearance of Sebastian. Is that right? It is frustrating to listen to him. Okay, it's frustrating. I get frustrated listening to him because I want authentic conversation, right? I want there to be facts. I want there to be reality. And it's not very hard to see. This is not reality. These are not facts. This is stuff, this manipulative gaslighting. It's saying what sounds to be right in the moment, but it is not matched by behavior. I believe there will be numerous civil suits in the future. Maybe, yeah. In all honesty, I don't not believe any of them. I think that's a really good way to say it, Princess Jasmina. You can't just say, I don't believe you, you're a liar, right? The hope is that somewhere the truth is in their words. But to say things like this it's so frustrating. Stop the drama. We don't like the drama. We hate the drama. Well, who's doing the drama? Who's doing the bullying? Who's calling out other creators? Oh, thank you, Just Another Human. Uh-oh. Look at there. Look at there. Allegedly innocent. Made some money. Woo! Thank you. Just Another Human. I was being a little snarky. Sorry about that. I should have kept that under control. I was wrong for letting that out. Chris, if you are watching this, this is me financially supporting my favorite creator. Where is Sebastian? Thank you, Just Another Human. You are very kind. Thank you. Thank you. Choke on it, Chris Proudfoot. Look at me getting rich. All right. Still waiting on that. Stalk is still sitting up in that prison, waiting on those apologies. Chris Croft and Little Mary Sunshine. He is playing games. Trust him as much as far as you could pick them up and throw them. Grave Time with Grace. I can't stand to hear his voice. I just want to thank you for saying everything I wish I could say to him. Thank you so much. You are very, very welcome. Hey, Jude. Don't make it bad. Take a sad song. I'm seriously confused with this case. I have never seen a case where so many people are suing over a missing child. Gigi, with ya. I have been outspoken about all of this suing and lawsuits. This is bad. This is not the way to go. It's eating up your own financial resources, or you're asking your subscribers to spend their financial resources. And the reality is that we're probably going to enter in a recession here soon. And we should all be hanging on to every cent that we have, because things may be getting a little bit difficult in the coming months in this nation. So don't, if people would just quit talking mean about each other, if they just quit going live and making fun and bullying and being hateful, just stop. Then you don't piss people off. They don't need to sue you. It is a large ego. I would agree with that. Yeah, everybody check your weather, please. Check your weather, because there has been some bad storms the last couple of days, especially, right around Hendersonville last night. They had a terrible tornado. I do too, Margaret. That would change everything. Absolutely. I'm not on a team. I'm listening to a complete moron. Am I the moron? Am I the moron? Wait a minute. That's Lexi calling Gigi a moron, I think. I am listening to a complete moron deflect, lie, gaslight, bully, and say the most insane things. Go to the park site and ask why they are doing 8-hour lives a day on this. Who's the moron, Lexi? I absolutely love YouTube. Am I the moron? Hey, Keister. Oh my goodness. So Keister had kidney surgery. And now you've got all the nurses hooked on the Sebastian Rogers case. Well, Keister, I hope they're giving you the good drugs, honey. You just lay there and just veg out and just let your body heal, okay? Seth is all about Sebastian. Chris is all about Chris. Oh, did he say? They said Donwell said the same thing. Is the alleged green heart tattoo on KP's wrist still there? Is that illegal? My bestie lives downtown Nashville, and I have so many awesome friends there. Yeah, I heard that, Holly. Yep, they're going to be on Dateline. Yep. Got their big flashing neon sign. So if they keep their, or if they kept their mouths shut, none of the talk against each parent wouldn't happen. Well, Gigi, so were you on YouTube last year when Christopher and Katie first started doing like the interviews online? Did you see them? We need to be fair about that, right? He's not a victim. He was horribly aggressive to people. And I'm talking about people that were not doing anything except trying to help, like Trish on Web Sleuths. There's you a no drama channel, Chris. And what did you call them? What was the childish junior high school name that you came up with for Web Sleuths? I'm not going to repeat it. I've said it before. So, yeah, Gigi, I understand wanting to support them, having empathy for their plight. I do. And if you really pay attention, people do not comment on Katie. They really don't. None of these YouTube creators have really talked about Katie much at all. It has mostly been with Chris, directly related to his demonstrated anger and behavior. And it's a little worrisome how quick he is to anger and how deep his anger is. Pretty Bird. True crime has absolutely morphed into real life drama, and I'm sick about it. I hate the drama. I hate the drama channels. I hate the way that they handle themselves, how they target people. I hate it. Covering the Dr. Turk trial was a breath of fresh air because people are just talking about the evidence in the trial. It's been really great. And you want to listen to this. You want to know how many people you get in your live stream? About 50 to 80, maybe 100. That's it. It's this drama that's been cooked up, and Christopher Proudfoot has been at the heart of that. And SF Investigates, that gets thousands of live viewers. And I don't care. I don't care. I'm going to cover Turk. I'm going to cover the trials that are interesting, and I am going to stay as far away from the drama as I can. It's another reason why I've shied away from the Karen Reed case, because people have developed such intense opinions about it. There's a lot of drama in the Karen Reed case. Not like this, though. Not to this level. Yeah. Hi, Deafening Silence. Good to see you. But it's no different than what you all say. Well, first of all, I'm a single person, Gigi. I don't know what other people say or do or why, but I'm responsible for me. I wonder why KP doesn't speak if she's sitting right next to him. I think she means all the super chats. Clue is getting on the live. Green team is only trying to locate Sebastian and get information, but other people are talking nonsense about the team. CP goes to talk to the creator and creates a problem. He fancies himself to be a YouTube celebrity while degrading. Well, he does seem to believe that he knows a lot of executive knowledge about being a YouTube creator. Yeah. I love you are words, but actions speak louder than just words. I totally agree, Crystal. I think that was a great example. Hey, Scotty Too Hottie, how you doing? Sassy T is on her walk. Pretty Bird, it's good to see you. Haven't seen you in several weeks, I think. Courtney, save it clueless. You're full of it. CP is literally a drama queen. Sandra, he does seem to love it. He's on all the channels. It's like, wait a minute, if you don't like the drama, why are you on these channels? Like, why aren't you over there hanging out with Grizzly True Crime? Lisa, thank you. Look at there, Chris. Making that money. Grifting. Woo! Getting rich on YouTube coin. You're so ridiculous, Chris Proudfoot. So ridiculous. Gigi, you don't get to come here and question our discussions. She's going to Disneyland. I love Disney. Well, I go to Disney World. Man, I love Disney World. When has Seth ever jumped on anyone's panel to correct what's being said about his character? He hasn't, because it's all about truly, Sweet Sativa. Yeah, he may come in and leave like a comment, but it's always to correct, like, if you pay attention to Seth, his statements are directly relevant to Sebastian. So all these people saying these horrible, gross things about Seth, one of Christopher Proudfoot's friends, good buddies, came out the other day and did everything but call Seth a pedophile. Truly, just a couple of days ago. That's one of Chris's buddies, his friend that he calls on the phone and spends time chatting with. Seth never comments on it, never corrects it, doesn't give a damn. Say whatever you want to about him. The only thing he's going to correct is factual information directly related to his son, Chris. It is Seth's child. Oh yeah, true comment right there. There's you another factual statement, Chris. Clue was getting super chats left and right throughout this whole couple of hours that you were on her panel. You didn't say a word about that. You seem to be perfectly okay with her making money with her work. So it's just certain channels that it's okay to make money or not. I'm having a little bit of trouble making sense of this. All right. Yeah, he has lost the narrative. I would agree with that. Losing SF Investigates, I think, was a big hit on Chris. I think that hurt him. I really do. And now he's, out trying to communicate with the folks. And that's his right to do that. He can do that. Nobody can, say that that's wrong or bad or he shouldn't be doing it. It is his choice how to run the show. But I do believe that is a pretty good illustration that SF Investigates was controlling Chris and stopping him from going live and becoming angry, right? So, which was probably smart on the part of SF. All right, so we only touched a just tiny little drop of this long multi-hour interview, or it wasn't an interview, it was a discussion. And my takeaways are they acted like someone died or that they felt like they lost a court case, which I find to be interesting because they did not lose the court case. So I don't know why it's such low energy, but it is. They seem to be very weary. Maybe it was a long day. I'm not reading anything into it. It just is notably strange and different than previous. We got verification that SF Investigates is no longer working on the Sebastian Rogers case. And we got the absolute statement from Chris Proudfoot that Seth is a liar because there are only 3 CPS investigations, not 5. And that makes Seth a bad guy. So I think I'd like to end this live with everybody putting in their opinion. Is 3 CPS investigations, active CPS investigations, is that okay? Is that normal? Is that acceptable? Put a 1. If 3 is an established pattern of assault against a child, I want you to put a 2. All right? Please hit the thumbs up. I would appreciate it. I would actually be very grateful if you would hit the subscribe button. And we'll be back. Next week is going to be crazy in terms of the true crime, new cases and such that are going to be out. And please continue to pray for Sebastian, because right now it seems that's all we got. Y'all have a good evening. Watch out for these terrible storms, please. All right? Y'all have a good evening. Bye.
Well, I'm sitting in my chair late at night, watching crime unfold under the pale moonlight. From the darkest corner, stories unfold. True crime jewels, she's brash and she is bold. On the YouTube screen, we're digging deep into the mysteries that never sleep. From missing kids in Tennessee to angry husbands named Barry. True crime's calling, and we're taking the time. So grab a seat, don't miss a beat. This True Crime Jewels got what you need. From missing people to twisted minds, we're unraveling secrets old Barry tried to hide. Every clue, every twist and turn. In the world of crime, there's always more to learn. On the YouTube screen, we're digging deep into the mysteries that never sleep. From Christopher's anger to Stephen Fisher's lies. The truth is calling, and justice won't be denied. So grab a seat, don't miss a beat. True Crime Jewels on the YouTube streets. Lights are low, suspense is high. We're chasing truth, we spot every lie. Step into the darkness, hold on tight. Two flashlights out there in the dead of night. On the YouTube screen, we're digging deep. Barry Morphew's case is hot. A boy in Tennessee won't be left behind. From the coldest cases to the ones that shine, true crime's calling, and we're taking the time. So grab a seat, don't miss a beat. This True Crime Jewels got what you need. We're always watching Barry and waiting for the truth. In the world of crime, we discuss the proof. So hit that play and join the true crime journey with Jewels of Thought and her gemstone family.